Let's go next to Bobby from Arizona.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you, Bobby?
I'm well. This is really exciting because I've recently discovered you. Oh, geez, like maybe 6 or so months before the last election. So this is
Beautiful.
really exciting.
Is Bobby
Uh,
short for Roberta?
no, it's actually short just for just Bobby Joe, but that
Oh,
is a
okay.
very common
Wow.
question.
All right. Thank you. Well, glad to clarify.
So my question was going to be in regards to Arizona's recent shift to blue
Hmm.
and young voters voting more Democratic or more independent. I know I've got a few people who don't necessarily say that they're a Democrat, but they don't. They're definitely not Republican. So with the shift in blue, I know a lot of it from what I've seen being in Arizona, and obviously I think has to do with Trump's decision to be distancing or be rude to John McCain's legend. He's really big out here, but I
Interesting. So
also
locally, a lot of Republicans they really didn't like when Trump said stuff like "I prefer war heroes who don't get
mhm.
captured" and stuff like that.
There was actually a big sign the day after the election where it was Trump's face and John McCain's, and it was like John McCain like came back from heaven, and
Interesting.
it's a big local thing out here. And then the other part of it, I think, is there's going to be more of a standing for blue. Just because of the young voters. And I was
Yes.
wondering if you had an opinion on young voters turning blue. Because I had an argument with someone. There's like, no, it's just because John McCain. I'm like, I don't think it is though.
No, I think it's more, but so there's two different things. There's Are there more young people and the young people are just more on the left, or are you saying that there are young people voting in Arizona that used to vote Republican now are voting for Democrats?
So I know personally that's my case, the latter. So I grew up with boomer parents, and they were very Republican, and that's
Mm,
all I was fed, Republican rhetoric. So I had, as soon as I became older and started actually interacting with people, I did end up learning more about the world and realize, well, that's not really not fair, but not the right way that I feel like should be done.
yeah.
So more independent media, more things on YouTube. Your show I discovered, and I realized more and more about things that I wanted versus what my parents wanted.
Right.
So I know personally that was my decision, but I
Yeah,
do
I mean,
think as
anecdotally, I know of a lot of that going on. I know people who voted for Joe Biden in Arizona who
mhm,
essentially had never voted for a Democrat at the national level since they became old enough to vote.
mhm,
It's of course anecdotal, but it's interesting that you're observing that in Arizona because I know lots of people who are on the left and didn't vote, and then they went out and voted for Biden in order to remove Trump in November. But those are people who were always
yeah.
on the left. In Arizona specifically, I know people that are exactly what you're saying you yourself are, which is they actually used to vote for Republicans and then they voted for Joe Biden. So I don't know what to make of it. It's just anecdotes, but obviously it bodes well for the left in Arizona.
Yeah. No, I think there's going to be more of a blue shift. And I don't think it's just like a one time thing, personally.
Let's hope. Let's hope. Now,
Okay.
how are things going on mask wise? Are people, because I know that Arizona has been, some describe it as a COVID hellscape. How is
Oh,
it
gosh.
feeling there right now?
It depends on the areas. Like if you go to like north, like the richer areas, it's much more laxed, and then more. I think a lot of businesses are taking more of the ownership on the requirement.
Oh, okay.
Uh, so it just really depends on the areas that you go to. I think it's a lot of dependent on uh, whether or not you say anything. Like I had gone to the store and I asked there's people without masks, and I asked an associate, I was like, hey, do something, and they did. But it's one of those situations where it's going to take as a group, as a society, I feel like, to put the pressure, because I think more people will fold in that situation.
I think you're right. And I mean, listen, hopefully we can vaccinate quickly enough that this becomes a non issue because some people are
Hmm.
just not going to wear masks.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to when I'm available. I'm in the younger category, and I'm relatively healthy. I'm staying more isolated. I work from home, so I'm willing to wait until it's available for
Right.
my group than just rushing in. But I do know that my husband works in grocery, and they just opened it up in Arizona for grocery workers to get it. So I'm excited to have him at least
Yeah.
get it.
Lots of states, even in advance of May 1, are saying 18 plus, 16 plus can get vaccinated. So
Hmm.
let's hope so. All right. Thanks, Bobby, for the call.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Bobby from Arizona. Very, very good caller. One of our sponsors is privacy.com. They're giving you $5 when you sign up for their completely free service at privacy.com/Pakman. I've been using Privacy for a little over a year now. You've heard me talk about it before. It's a lifesaver, and here's how it works. It takes just a couple of minutes to set up. Anytime you buy something online or on the phone, instead of actually using your real credit card number, the Privacy app and the browser plugin let you give each company a randomized virtual credit card number that you create out of thin air. It'll even autofill the card number with one click. And the payment is taken out of your checking account without the merchant ever knowing your real information. So this allows you to keep your banking information secure, but also to take control of your finances. You can create up to 12 of these virtual credit cards a month. You can set spending limits. You can freeze them. You can delete them anytime you want. So when you do this, it means you're not going to be charged when you don't want to be, because you can destroy the virtual card number right after using it, which, for instance, I love using free trials because I know I won't be charged when the trial is over if I use a virtual credit card number. You're keeping your identity private by not telling companies who you are. You're keeping your bank or credit card info protected against data breaches and identity theft, and it's free. And like I said, you'll get $5 to spend when you sign up at privacy.com/Pakman.